Well, I do not want my AirPods to. Yeah, really. Definitely a lot. Yeah. I've got cocktail ingredients here at the studio, so... Oh, mic is hot, people are saying. You did tell me that my mic is always live.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I got that in the wrong order, but that's okay. We're still here. Greetings, everybody. This is PhotoJoseph. You are on PhotoJoseph's live show. However, if you are watching this on Aaron's channel, wondering if there's some crossing of the streams, no, because Aaron is, in fact, here as well. Aaron, say hello.
I am here. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I think I got that in the right order.
Fine, you get my thing in the right order. I get my own in the wrong order. That's just pretty typical. So we're going to jump right into the show once we have verified people can see and hear us nice and clearly on all channels. So if with any luck, I just realized I forgot to start a, here, Aaron, entertain them for a moment. I got to start something that I realized I forgot to turn on for my restream.
I have no idea. I have no idea what he's talking about. But welcome. We are going to have a good time here. So we'll explain what's all going on for the setup. But we will also we're going to do this live demo here. So I've got the YoloBox Mini here. I've also got PhotoJoseph on an iPad, which is how I'm talking to him. And as you can also see in my studio, my monitor replacement arrived. So I've got the 24-inch back on that desk, which is today's project of sort of setting that up and making that work. So yeah, there's a huge delay on Joseph's stream because he is streaming in 4K to his, which means he has to be on normal latency or low. Can't use ultra low when you're streaming 4K. However, he's pushing the stream to my channel in 1080, so I've set it to ultra low. And that's why if you're watching this on his channel, he's farther
And everybody's
behind.
actually saying that your audio is out of sync, which, to be fair, we did set this up very, very last minute. I don't really know why your audio would be out of sync, though. That doesn't actually make sense. Because of the way it's routed, it should be working. Huh. Well, we may just have to live with that because I can't even imagine what. What I was starting was my restream, because I'm streaming to restream as well, and I'd forgotten to hit go on that. So that is now live. So for anybody who's watching on the restream, which is basically everywhere but YouTube, welcome. And I'm not going to be able to see your chat because I didn't get that set up. But if you come over to the YouTube channel, there should be a link in the feed wherever you're watching this to bring you to the full 4K feed, which is the better place to be. But, you know, come on over. The water's lovely. Anyway, everyone's saying there's a delay in the audio, but at least it's working. So let's just get into it so we can show people what we're talking about today. So this topic today is about the YoloBox's capability to stream from one YoloBox to another. Now, Aaron's going to explain how this setup is working on his end. He is streaming to me right now. I'm going to show you how I add his stream on my end, so we're going to do it kind of in reverse. I'm going to add him in, and then we're going to switch over to him and let him explain and show how this is all set up. So you've all seen the YoloBox Pro before. This is my YoloBox. You can see I've got my video already coming in on HDMI 1, and if I tap on Add Video Source, you'll see that there's this option, Live Stream, which is now available. Usually that's dimmed out. If I open that up, we see that there is a remote feed coming from Aaron. So I'm going to select that, tap on Done, and that is literally it. He is now on there. I can bring him onto air at any time. So there's how we bring him in. So that's all there is to that. Now, of course, from here I can build out split screen. So if I wanted to do like let's do a side-by-side on here, choose one source for one side, the other source for the other side, and now we should, if it accepts it, there we go. I could, change the spacing on here, change the background image, whatever I want. Let's put a let's put a little blue background back there, load that up, hit done. And now when I pull up that feed, we have that full side-by-side screen. So this is all working as it should. I can further go into the audio controls. Now you're not going to hear the audio, we haven't piped that in. But if we look at the audio controls, scroll down, there we go. There's live stream and there's his audio that's coming in as well. So if needed, I could adjust his levels on there. So that is bringing all of that in, and that works lovely. The limitation here, just like the limitation with how Aaron's actually coming into this live show, not through the YoloBox, but the main live show, is it's a one-way communication. So he is streaming to me. I have no way to loop back to him. So if you're going to have a conversation, like what Aaron and I are doing for the show, then you have to have a back channel. And for that, it's typically something like Zoom or Skype or whatever works. So I have Aaron on a back channel right now for this call. If you were doing this strictly through the YOLO, you would do the same thing. You would have to set up that back channel to have a conversation. But what we are going to find is that there's a pretty significant delay, so it may not be ideal for conversations, even as you've noticed at the beginning of this live show, we had issues getting Aaron's audio into sync through for you. That shouldn't be a problem going through the YOLO. And like I said, I kind of think there's something else afoot because it should be configured properly. But there is still going to be a delay, and it's going to be pretty significant. I think the intention of this is more you want to bring in a remote camera than have a conversation. Like I showed in the thumbnail, you've got a camera that's in another room, in another building, in another part of the world, and it's streaming a feed that you can incorporate in. So kind of a, we're in the new studio, let's go to Aaron out in the field kind of a thing. We cut to his feed, let him do his show, and then, all right, coming back to me, and then it comes back, that type of a thing. I think that's probably more of how it would be used. With that said, now that you've seen how it gets added into the box on my end, let's switch over to Aaron so that he can show you what he had to do on his end to start setting it to me.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you in the YoloBox Mini, which is the one I'm using today, what I had to do to get this set up. And I am now realizing that I did not actually give you a proper view of the screen, so you're going to have to just sort of look at what I'm pressing on the screen. I didn't pipe it in properly. So I didn't have like fancy overlay like Joseph did. He had a really nice little overlay with a little border and everything, and I should have set that up ahead of time. So apologies in advance, but let me show you what I had to do here. So basically I have one video feed coming in. So typically it'd be a camera, but you could also, of course, use an ATEM with that to be able to do multiple cameras. This works the same with the Mini or the Pro. Either way is fine. I'm going to actually stop this for now so I can actually go through the sequences from the beginning. So the trick is in the settings, what you need to do is go to streaming mode and make sure you've chosen the multi-streaming service from YOLO Live's multi-stream service. Basically what that does is instead of the YoloBox pushing directly to YouTube or whatever platform, it actually pushes to their servers first, in AWS, and then they do the multi-streaming. So that's how multi-streaming works in the YoloBox in general. And the streaming mode in the YoloBox needs to be set to that in order for their cloud to get the data feed. So choose that. And then here's the sort of weird part. You actually don't need any destinations chosen. Don't enable any of the platforms from the YoloBox that's going to be the remote one. Instead, make sure that using their cloud service is turned on, and then just press go live. And basically what that does is this is not streaming to YouTube or any of those actual platforms. It's just streaming to their cloud. So this is now pushing the feed up into the YOLO Live Cloud service, where it can now be brought into other YOLO boxes. So now that that's actually live, the other limitation here, or I guess I don't know if it's a limitation. The other thing to keep in mind here is this works with the same account on the YoloBox. So what we've done for this demo is PhotoJoseph and I actually have signed into our YOLO boxes using the same YOLO Live account. And that's how they're able to match up the stream and find the stream. So now that I've done this, and now that this is streaming up to YOLO Live, when PhotoJoseph goes and adds a new video source into the Pro, it will find this feed because it is actually live. So that's the steps. That's it. It's actually not that complicated.
Yeah, I agree. It really is pretty straightforward. And I couldn't kind of believe when we were setting it up yesterday, he said he sent me the login for the account that he created. Like he said, we had to have the same account, so he created a brand new one. And he sent me that login info, so I logged in on my YoloBox, and I go, okay, now what do I have to do? He goes, well, just add it. I'm already there. And yeah, that was it. There was nothing else to configure other than him enabling that through the YOLO Live's multi-streaming service. Once he's streaming to there, I can pick it up, which is pretty interesting. What we haven't tested is I wonder if this can work. Aaron, maybe if we had multiple receivers. We did try sending from multiple, and that definitely broke it. But to receive it on multiple YOLO boxes, I wonder if you could do that. I don't think we've figured that one out.
I haven't tried it. I don't see why it wouldn't work, though. But yeah, it could be an interesting experiment to
So,
try
Aaron,
that as
let's
well.
bring up the clock. I just re-entered because I had to reset everything. I re-entered the PHP clock thing that you sent me yesterday. I'm currently trying to scale it so it actually shows up on screen, so people can see what I'm doing here. I've got a clock overlay, and I am desperately trying to figure out how to manipulate this so that we can actually see the whole clock.
The scale is a little bit tricky. Make the width and the height all the way
That's what I
to the right first, and then drop the scale down. This preview isn't correct. So scale it till the numbers are about on the left, and I think you're good there.
Okay.
So I've reported this to them, so hopefully they're working on it.
And of course, I just went in and deleted what I just added. So fortunately, I copied that URL to the clipboard.
Okay.
Let's make sure that. Let's see if paste works on Android.
And I'm going to do the same, enter that URL into mine.
So what we're going to be doing here, guys, just to explain it, is Aaron has a clock running on a system there, a little PHP clock thing that he's loading up as a web overlay. I'm loading up as a web overlay. And we're going to bring our two feeds up side by side, and then you'll see the exact delay between our two feeds. So with any luck here, I've got mine now set up. So I go done, bring up that overlay. So you can see Aaron's. Oh, good. You can see mine as well. There you go. That's it. So let's do this, make that a little bit bigger. And now you can see the delay. So
not bad.
25, 26.
So yeah, this means my YoloBox is got the web overlay in the YoloBox Mini, and it's sending that video feed with my clock in the corner to Joseph's YoloBox. Joseph's YoloBox is taking my feed, scaling into the side thing, and then he's got the same URL loaded as a web overlay on his, and then that's what you're seeing. So that's why you're seeing two clocks, and the delay is about 6 or 7 seconds, it looks like, which is, yeah, it's not a conversational amount of delay, but that's why, you were saying earlier that you would expect to use it as a sort of remote camera in the field type of situation, not necessarily side-by-side guests like we're doing
and
right
I think yesterday we experienced some different delays. I think at one point it was down to maybe 3 or 4 seconds, and at one point it was, this actually might be the longest.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference there depending on, who knows what. Their servers, do you remember where their servers are? Because I know they used to be based in Hong Kong, but I think that they moved to Amazon servers, although I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, they're on Amazon. I don't know which region in Amazon they're in.
I mean, it should ideally connect to a local region, I suppose, but to wherever you're starting from, but who knows?
That takes a bit of work to set up, but I wonder if they've done that. Yeah, I haven't actually checked.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's what, go ahead.
So, yeah. No, yeah, that's it. There's a couple of questions coming in about this on
go
my
ahead.
feed. Are we using the beta of the YoloCast service? No, this is totally just YoloBox to YoloBox, nothing else. There was no other parts to set up. So it was really just signing into the same YoloBox account on two YoloBoxes, and then you can add one feed to the other. And speaking of, if we are communicating via the YoloBox cloud, how do you determine who's the host and who is the guest? It's not really host and guest. It's more like, because again, it's not conversational. You can't have a back and forth conversation within the YoloBoxes. You need some sort of back channel, which is why I've got Zoom pulled up here. So you still need a back channel, but what it does do is let you treat one of the YoloBoxes as a remote feed into another. So Joseph, do you want to just go and show that again really quick for people who have just joined? Show the adding the live stream into the YoloBox.
So let's go back to the YoloBox view, and I'll go ahead and just delete this side by side. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the overlay as well. There we go. So basically, we're back to the beginning now. So you've already got my feed on the HDMI 1. That's just the coming in off of the off of one of my cameras here. I've got that feeding directly in. So that's the HDMI 1 input. And then next to that where it says add video source, if I tap on that, this is where if I had other cameras plugged in on HDMI, I'd be able to add those. I can add an SD card video or a PDF from the SD card. But there's also this live stream option that is kind of in the middle there. So when I tap on that, it opens up and it looks for live streams that are coming into this account. So I tap on that to add him, done, and in just a moment here, I should add that in. There it is. And there he is. And that's it. So now I can switch back and forth just by tapping on these. But if I wanted to build a split screen, although as we've just discussed, the delay is pretty long to do any kind of an actual split screen. But to do that, I would just go add video source, and then let's do like a news layout kind of a thing. And I would put, me as the host and Aaron as the guest, choose that layout. And then, once again, we can change our background image. Let's choose a different one this time. Those are just pulling off of the SD card, and that's it. And that's done. So now I pull up the news layout, and there's our layout there with our two of us side by side. And that actually works, looks great, right? That looks really, really good. So that's how that whole thing works. Pretty straightforward. I mean, it's really easy to set up. Again, the key is you both have to be logged into the same account. That's the only way to do it. There's no, Aaron's going to stream from his account, stream to my account, ixnay. It has to be the same account. You just hit go, and it goes. And that's all there is to it.
Yeah, pretty impressive, honestly. I do have a couple of feature requests into Yolo Live in order to be able to, for example, not have to be signed into the same account. Of using some sort of enter this code to link your two cross accounts or whatever. I think that'd be really useful because it is a little bit weird having to share the login because that does give the access to the streaming platforms like your YouTube channel, for example, if you've signed into a YouTube account in your Yolo Live account. So I would like to see that fixed. So we'll see if they add that later. But otherwise, like for now, if you have multiple YoloBoxes, it is a very, very easy way to do a remote feed, remote contribution.
it definitely is. It really does make that super simple. So that's it. That's what we wanted to show you today. It's a pretty straightforward, simple one. We wanted to get this out because both Aaron and I have talked about this many times. We say it's possible, the feature's there. We never actually tried it, so we had to do it. And yeah, we set it up yesterday. It worked super quick and easy, so we decided to make a show on it. A little bit last minute, but here we are.
Yeah.
I'm looking through the questions.
And yeah, for people who are commenting about my audio being out of sync, that is actually nothing to do with the YoloBox. So I'm actually streaming from my normal setup here. I'm actually using the this might look weird. I'm going to show it for just a split second. Using the web presenter. There we go. Streaming from the web presenter to Joseph's streaming bridge, and for some reason the audio on that end is then being routed in a way that's causing a delay. Yeah. I don't know why.
I'm not sure either.
So not the YoloBox's fault.
That has nothing to do with the YoloBox. This whole setup was extremely last minute. So the fact that you can hear him when he's not on air was literally about 30 seconds before hitting the go live. I went, oh my God, I need to change that. But I don't know why why the sync isn't there. It should be. In my head, it should be working. So we got to figure out where that's broken. So, none of these shows are ever perfect, are they?
Yeah. We always learn something new. Good question from Tom here. Is there a cost to running this? No, right now the buying the YoloBox gives you the access to the Yolo live service that is needed for the YoloBox to work, and they don't charge monthly for that. And then that does include this feature of YoloBox to YoloBox streaming. Totally separately, they're working on a new product, the Yolo Cast, I think it's called. Which is a web platform for live streaming, and I'm going to be talking about that more in the future, but it's still in beta. It's not quite live yet. That's completely separately, and there are going to be monthly charges for using that, but it's a whole different thing. It has nothing to do with the hardware itself.
Cool. All right. Well, if you don't have any other questions coming up, I don't really have any questions coming in on my end, so I think we can wrap this up and keep it a nice, concise show that more people might actually watch.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Aaron, thank you so much for coming in and helping out. Very last minute, but I'm glad that we were able to work that out for us. Even if you are out of sync, we'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.